I think this is a really important topic. This is probably like one of my big things that I kind of like soapbox I stand on. If there's anything that is going to make esports an actual thing, like we're actually going to be as big as sports is, we're going to be filling stadiums with people, and the Overwatch League is going to come into fruition, right? It's storylines, it's narratives about players, it's players and their journey to become the strongest version of themselves. The same stories that are told in the NFL and the NBA. It is a massive problem right now because we have a lot of firms and VC firms that own these teams that are very, very ROI focused in like a 3 to 4 year window. And what that's going to do is it's going to shut down the narrative in favor of ads and CPM and just like throwing jerseys and money and stuff until the market dries up. I'm extremely concerned about that. And I feel like I feel like esports is going the wrong direction and not like the right one. Like a disclaimer here is like I'm very pessimistic against it about this in general, but I also guess I have the experience to back it up. So
it seems a little better at least than what it used to be. Did you ever have any experience dealing with like MLG or Sundance or Adam or any of like the? Oh my god, dude! Like those guys were just totally fucking clueless, like totally clueless, totally inept. No, like just money flying around everywhere. No idea on what type of returns they're looking for on anything. No idea of building anything. Like just. Fucking disaster. I don't know.
I can't comment much on that, but like I understand like your perspective,
right? Or do you think they were trying?
Okay, yeah. I understand your perspective.
Like, yeah, we're just really, I don't know.
As far as production and like the actual tournaments being run, I think that's gotten a lot better across the board.
Yeah, probably.
There's still problems, but it's gotten better as like people have evolved. But things like teams being cohesive professional units is way behind.
Sure.
Yeah, and the narratives are almost non-existent. Like we're actually in danger of losing the narratives.
I almost maybe even believe. I don't like to comment on this much because I don't really follow esports. But even not following esports, and even if you agree or disagree with this, it felt like back 2 or 3 years ago, it felt like League was a lot more personality driven.
Absolutely.
Like George was like a hot shot GG.
Big Fat LP, Skara,
and Dyro, and everything. Like, and Reggie, and like
George and I talk about this all the time. This is a major problem with League, is that because of the reason why I'm pretty pumped about the franchising is because by moving that system over to franchising, we can keep those storylines. It's not a feast or famine where we have to sub players every second if there's a minimal drop in effectiveness. And they're 5% less effective because like they're having a bad season.
So now you have more time to get them to
we have more time. We can build their brands and we can tell their stories. So it's a very positive. Like the reason why Skara stopped playing for Dignitas is because of performance. And if he had still been a brand today, there would be tons of people following him. I mean, it would be a totally different deal.
And he still streams to a decent amount of people.
He does.
Too, right?
He streams almost every day. Yeah.
Is he like a 20,000 plus dude?
No, he usually is around like I'd say these days like 4 to 10.
Okay.
But he also has a show called Primetime League, I think, or is it Post Time League? It's PTL something. Someone will be able to tell me. That's a show that comments on League of Legends after the LCS finishes.
Gotcha.
And so, but he's one of the rare examples that's been able to find like a niche afterwards. But there's a lot of pro players that didn't, right?
Yeah, sure.
And they're kind of just like in the shadows, and that's a really sad thing too. Is that a lot of those brands kind of got forgotten.
Yeah, and I used to remember that. It seemed like I remember back in the day, like whenever like players were moving around or playing or not playing, like it was a really big deal. Like everything that happened with Double Lift was a really big deal. Things that happened with, you remember Chaox?
Yes, of
was
course.
like a really big deal. Like all of that, the teams moving around. When George stepped down from playing in CLG, when Reggie stepped away from playing the team, like all of these were, even without, I didn't watch a single, I still actually to this day probably haven't watched a full LCS game, right? I just don't watch it. But even knowing that, like, even not doing that, looking at the threads and seeing the talk and the hype and watching some streams around, like you got like the players like really drove, like these personalities were these huge strong anchors for what was going on. When Wild Turtle came on and replaced in TSM,
Wild Turtle replaced Double Lift. Double Lift took, that was fairly recent though, when Double Lift took out the season off the stream.
Oh shit, was that fairly recent? Okay, never mind. Okay, that maybe that's more recent. I probably only remember because Double Lift was Wild Turtle doing stuff before. I feel like I heard of his name. I feel like I heard of his name, like involved with some big shit. But it just seemed like 2 or 3 years ago, like it seemed like stuff going on with players. Dyrus like retiring, that was like a top thread on like all of fucking Reddit for like fucking 12 hours.
It should be, but I like it shouldn't be a top thread when someone retires. I mean, sorry, it should be a top thread when someone retires. That shouldn't be the only reason we're getting top threads.
Oh, yeah.
All of the narratives you just listed were people retiring or moving on. That's bad. When Hotshot GG steps down, like you were using, all right, it should be storylines between the rivals and conflicts of those players.
Oh, when Wild Turtle replaced Chaos.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry.